right, welcome to this computer training course program. My name is Eric Mulwa, and I'm gonna be walking you through this course. Now, before we dive in, I want us to ask or to look at why it's important for you to master basic computer skills. Now, it's good to understand that you're living in the information age, and no matter which field you are in, whether you're pursuing engineering profession, or that you're a lawyer, or that you're pursuing an accounting, or that you're pursuing to be in the ministry, or whether you're pursuing to be a doctor. Think of any field, a chef, a mechanic, whichever field that you might be pursuing at this current moment. You're gonna need basic computer skills to be able to become more productive, to be able to make your work easier, to be able to deliver better, and basically to be able to use technology to advance yourself. And that's why this course is very, very important. So regardless of the field that you are in, regardless of what you're doing or which discipline that you're pursuing, you're gonna need these skills. And that's why this course is important. This course, basic computer skills, are important for every single person, especially the times that you are living in. And so I want to commend you for deciding to develop these skills for yourself, so you can become more effective, you can deliver better, and you can make your life easier. One of the things that I say about ICT is that it's supposed to make your life easy. It is supposed to make your life less costly. It's supposed to make your life more convenient. And so everything that you're going to learn in this course, it is going to help you as a person. It's going to help you improve your career. So that's why this course is important. I want to thank you for enrolling to this course. I want to thank you for choosing to build your skills. Here's the thing. See, anything that you buy, you can lose it. You buy a phone, you can lose it. Anything that you buy, think about any physical product. You buy a car can break down. Anything that you buy, physical product, you can lose it. But when you invest in your skills, no one can take those skills away from you for the rest of your life. And so you're gonna use those skills for the rest of your life, for the rest of your career life. And so investing in your skills is one of the best decisions that you can ever make. I want to applaud you for that. Thank you. You're one of the few people that have decided to make the decision to improve, add value to themselves. So when you have good skills, when you have skills that are adding value to at your place of work or to other people, you can use those skills and turn them around and start earning for yourself. And so this is one of the best decisions. And thank you for deciding to invest in this course. Now, I'll just dive in. What we're going to cover in this course is what we call computer application, basically, and these are the standard computer packages. We've all heard of the term Microsoft Office, and Microsoft Office is a program that comes with a suite of application packages or standard packages that we use almost on daily basis, depending on what you're doing. And these are what we call the computer application. That is what you're going to dive into this course. Now, what we're going to start right now is what we call Windows package. Basically, Windows package is not in the Microsoft Office suite of packages. It's basically a basic understanding on how to turn on your computer, how to turn it off, how to manage computer files, how to change computer settings. Basically, that's going to cover in this package. And then after that, we are going to dive in to the 5 suite of program that you will find in Microsoft Office. So here's the thing. I'm gonna assume at this point that you know how to turn on a computer and how to turn off a computer. Okay, because of course I cannot show you how to turn off a computer. If we do it, this machine will literally shut down, and then you're gonna be able to hear my voices. So I'm gonna assume that you know how to do that. But I want to show you the steps without literally doing it. I'm going to show you the steps. If you don't know how to do it, I want to show you the steps where you go, but we are not going to really shut this machine down. Now, before we do that, let me clarify on something. This package is, we're basically going to learn about Windows operating system. Now, what is Windows operating system? Windows operating system is the first program that you install into a computer. When you buy a computer, that computer, they're just methods. They're what you call the hardware. And hardware cannot operate without software. Think about when you buy a car. When you buy a brand new car, can you drive that car from the showroom? If the car does not have fuel, the car will not move. That is exactly what it is with a computer. When you buy a computer, it's the hardware, it's the mechanical part. That mechanical part, just like the car will need fuel to be able to move. You buy a computer, it's a hardware, you're gonna need a software. And as fuel it is for a car, so is the software for a computer. And the software are installed programs that enable the hardware to operate. So you buy a new computer, you're gonna have to install a software that to enable you as a user to interact with the computer. And the first software you install in any given computer, it's what we call the operating system. But of course, there are different operating systems. I'm not going to go deep into that, but we know there are different operating systems. We have Windows operating system, we have Macintosh operating system for Apple products like the Mac computers. Think about an Apple product. They come with their own operating system. The iPad, they come with their own operating system. And so we have Windows for PC, personal computers. We have Macintosh computers for Apple product. We have operating system for mobile phones like Android operating system. So there are different operating systems. But here specifically we are going to be using, by the way, we have what we also call Linux operating system. So they are different depending on which one you choose to use, and again, which system that you're using, which hardware you're using. Are you using an Apple product or are you using a personal PC? Now, having said that, here in this course, we are going to be using Windows operating system. And Windows operating system come in different versions. We have had Windows XP, we have had Windows 7, we have had Windows 8, and now we have Windows 10. And what we're going to be using in this course is Windows 10. And so what you need to understand is your window, this part here that you're looking at, may look different. Okay, it may not look the same as any other. If you're using Windows 8, this is going to look different. If you are using Windows 10, then you're going to have a window or an interface that looks like the one that you're seeing right now. But it really doesn't matter whether you're using Windows 8 or whether you're using Windows 10. Almost all the steps are basically more or less the same. So regardless of which Windows that you're using, if you're able to follow through on what I'm going to show you here, you will find that those steps, they are more or less the same. All right. Having said that, this is the window that you see, or this is the interface that you see if you're using Windows 10. Now, the first screen that appears when you turn on your computer, we call it desktop. And this is your desktop. You can see this flower here, and you can see all this. Now, we call these pictorial representations, we call them icons. This is an icon, this is another icon, this another icon, this another icon. We call them icons. Basically, icons are graphical representation of either programs or items on your screen, or files or folders. Okay, those are what icons are. They're basically graphical representation of programs, files, or items on the screen. So you can see different icons here. Now, this icon like this one, most of these, they represent programs installed in this computer. but we have other icons, especially the yellow ones. The yellow ones, they are not programs. They are what you call folders. Now think of a folder like an envelope where you can put your documents. So a folder is basically a storage location where you put your work, and we're gonna be covering how to do that later on. But as for now, I want us to just get a good look at how you can do a few settings in your computer and how you can organize your files within a computer. Now, here's the first thing that you're going to do. I'm going to show you how to turn a computer off. So how do you turn a computer off, or how do you shut down a computer? It's very simple. If you're using Windows 10, you come here, and we call this one the start button. You just click it. Once you click it, you're going to have all this popping up, these commands popping up, and then you go to power. You can see power here. You click power, and there you go. Then you go to see sleep, you go to see shut down, and you go to see restart. Now if you click sleep, what this machine will do is it will not shut down. It will just go into a dormant mode, okay, and it still be on but inactive. That is what sleep is. And then you have this restart button here. When you click restart button, the machine is going to do is it's going to shut it down and then turn on again, okay. And then we have the shutdown. If you click the shutdown, the machine will completely turn off. So if you wanna shut down a computer, most people will go right away to the power button and press it, and of course the machine will shut down. But over a period of time, if you keep on doing that, you're going to have problems with your machine later on. So the best way to do it is you come to this start button here, you go to power, you click power, then you come here and click shut down. That is how you shut off your machine. Now, like I said, we're not going to shut it down. We want to move on with this package. So I'm gonna click away. And clicking away is basically clicking outside a given selection. So I want to come here on my desktop, and then I will just click. There you go. Now let me point out something before we even continue. If you're using a desktop, you're going to have a mouse. If you're using laptop to learn this, you're going to have what you call touchpad, and it's a very soft place positioned on your laptop, and it has two buttons on the side. We call it mouse pad. If you're using a desktop, then of course you're going to have a real mouse. Now a mouse has two buttons. You're going to see there's always a button on your right and a button on your left. Now I may not be able to demonstrate these ones practically for you to see, but normally what you do is when you're holding your mouse, you place if you're left-handed if you're right-handed, and I'm gonna assume that you're right-handed, you place your hand on the top of the mouse such that your index finger lies on the left mouse button and your middle finger lies on the right mouse button. That gives you ease when it comes to moving the mouse around and clicking. And when you move the mouse around, you're going to see the mouse pointer moving over the screen. Clicking is pressing one of the buttons once. So when you press the left mouse button once, that is clicking. When you want to press the right mouse button, we call it right clicking, because you are clicking using the right mouse button. And when you click a mouse, you issue a command to a computer. So clicking once on the left mouse button, we're going to use the term just click. If I want you to click on using the right mouse button, I'm going to use the term right click. So if I say right click, then you know you're going to have to click using the right mouse button. If I just say click, then you know you're going to have to click using the left mouse button. Another term that I'm going to use is double clicking. Now double clicking basically means you click twice very fast. Okay, there are times you're going to need to double click. So when I say double click, you're going to press your left mouse button and you're going to press it twice very fast. That's what double clicking means. Basically, these are the major terms, right? So now, having understood that, what I want us to do right now, I want to show you how to access different settings in your computer and how to make a few changes before we get into mastering how to manage our files. So let's say I want to change the appearance of my desktop. I want to look slightly different from the way it looks like. So how do you change the desktop background appearance? It's simple. You come here to this icon called control panel and then you double click. Okay, you click twice the control panel. You click it twice and then you give it type. It's supposed to open the computer settings. This is where you can access all the computer settings. You can access system security, network, hardware, sound, programs. You can access user appearance. You can go to the clock language region. You can go to ease of access. And so we're going to use these different settings here. Not everything, of course. We're going to focus on our changing the appearance of our desktop, and so we're going to focus on appearance and personalization. All right. Sorry. Now, so how do I change the appearance of my desktop? I need to come here and click appearance and personalization. Just click it once and then you're going to see all these different settings. This one should not scare you. Just focus on one thing at a time. So at this point you go to change theme, and this one will have to do with how my desktop generally looks like. So I'll click change theme, and here you are. You're going to see different themes, and a theme will generally affect every part of your display. Let me show you. Currently, notice how our display of our desktop looks like. Let's pick a theme like this one. What you notice is that the lettering are going to change, the general appearance is going to change. So let's click this one and see what happens. So click it once, it will tell you please wait, and there you go. Notice now the lettering, the text has changed to yellow because of this yellow here, and basically the screen has changed to black because of this black here. So that is how you can change general settings or appearance of your desktop. If I close this one, you notice now our background of our desktop is black. We don't have the flower that was here. So that is how you do the settings. You also notice here the text is green. You notice here the text is yellow. Basically, that's how you do it. So let's go back again and make another change. I double click control panel, and here we are. We go to appearance and personalization. We click there, and here we are. And then we go to change the theme. I click change the theme, and here we are. Now we can choose a different theme. Let's choose Windows default themes. Okay, so we click this one and we give it some time, and there you go. There are changes there. By the way, if you want to close any window, and basically window is this, when you open any given program and you're using Windows operating system, every program or every setting opens with that window, and we call this open space. We call this one window because we can close it from here. So if I click this button, it's good to close this window. We're going to look at what are the functions of this button and this button, but as for now, if I click this close button, it will close the window. So I click it, and there you go. Now notice our desktop now looks different. So you can change the appearance of your desktop, specifically the background, by going to control panel. So let's go to control panel again. I will click it twice, and here we are. Again, we go to change the theme, and here we are. Now you can choose a different theme. Of course, you can choose this theme, right? And then you are good to close it and see what happens. But before we go to closing it and see what happens, I want to show you what are the functions of these two buttons. You have this button here, and we call it restore button, and you have this button here, and we call it minimize button. Now, the purpose of restore button is to make your window look smaller. In other words, you can collapse it or adjust it from covering your entire screen to occupying a small section of your screen. So if I click this one once, there you go. So here is your window, and you're still able to access all the settings, but it's not occupying the entire screen. There are times you're going to need to open several programs at once, and you want to be able to see all of them at once. That is the time you're going to need to use this restore button. Once you click restore button, it changes to maximize. If I come here now, it's called maximize, not restore window anymore. If I click it, it will maximize the entire window, and it's going to occupy the entire screen. So that is the purpose of this restore. You click it, it's restore down. Basically makes your window occupy a small section of your entire screen, and then it turns to become maximize. You click it again, and then you have your window full screen. Now, what's the purpose of this? Now, the purpose of this, we call it minimize. It literally collapses your entire window and place it down on this bar here. We call this bar taskbar here, the one you can see this Microsoft Edge, you can see File Explorer, you can see this store, you can see our browser Google Chrome, you can see Zoom, and you can see the control panel which is currently running. So this bar that has all this, including the speaker, including the time, including the battery, this is what we are calling the taskbar. And so when you click the minimize, it collapses your window and places it on the taskbar so that you are able to access your desktop. That is the purpose of the restore. And so let's practice it. Let's do it, and let's see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, the minimize. Once I click it, there you go. Now you cannot see your control panel window, but we didn't close it. It's actually here. If you point here, you'll be able to see it. If I click it, it will come up again. So when I click here, what I have done, I've just basically collapsed it. I didn't close it. So you come down here, you'll be able to see it. Now this one becomes very important when you run several programs, and at any given moment you want to switch from one program to another and to want them full screen. So you can collapse one and retain the other, and you can have all of them arranged here so that you can access them anytime you want to. Okay, so they give you convenience. So master that, practice that, and then you're going to see how they work. Now, having said that, I want to point out something else here. There's a button here, if you can see where my mouse is, it's called back to control panel. If you click this button, it takes you back to originally where you are. So if I click, it will move a step back, and this is where we started. Okay, and we have another button just right next to it. If I click it, forward to personalization. Basically it takes you a step forward to where you were originally. If I click this one, it takes me back to where we were. If I click this one, it takes me back. If I click this one, it takes me forward to where we were. If I click this one, it goes back. So that is the purpose of those buttons. Now we've learned how to change the appearance and personalization. Now there's something I want to point out, so I'm gonna come to appearance and personalization again, and I want to focus on something that we call screensaver. Now basically screensaver is it's an effect that you can apply to be running on your computer when your computer is idle. Basically, when the screensaver is activated, number one, it takes your computer to a dormant mode, and your monitor at that moment when the screensaver is running, it's not consuming a lot of power. Okay, it kind of goes into an inactive mode. Doesn't turn off the computer. It kind of goes to an inactive mode. It's a form of entertainment. Like when you apply a screensaver and you're not using a computer, your computer is going to have something running on the screen that's kind of entertaining, right? So I want to show you how to change the screensaver. You come to screensaver and then you just click it twice and let's see what happens. And here we are. You notice screensaver currently none. There's no screensaver. So let me set up a screensaver. What I need to click here, then I can click Bambus as my screensaver, and when the computer is idle, you're going to see Bambus like these ones. Right? You can choose photos, and if you have photos in this computer, those photos are going to appear here. You can choose something like 3D text, okay, and you can decide which text you want to appear on your screen. You can choose it. By the way, once you pick 3D text, you can click here to write the text. Okay, the current text is Windows 10. Let's say we want the current text to be computer training course. I'm just typing on the keyboard, computer training course. All right, the text is limited. It cannot be that long, so just use the computer training. And then if I click OK, that is the screensaver that's going to be running. Now let's test it. Let's see whether this one works. Now the screensaver will come up after a few minutes, and you set the minutes here. Notice now that our minute is wait for 1 minute. We cannot go lesser than that. So listen, if you're going to have to run this screensaver, we're going to have to wait for 1 minute, right? So I would ask you to bear with me. We're going to be waiting for 1 minute, and as we wait for 1 minute, I'm going to be explaining a number of things as we wait for our screensaver to come alive. I'm going to be explaining the difference between files and folders as we wait for our screensaver to come around. Now remember, for that screensaver to come alive, you cannot be using the screen. You cannot be using your mouse. The computer has to be idle for 1 minute. That tells you you're gonna be waiting for 60 seconds. So bear with me because I want to show you how the screensaver works. So once you set up your screensaver, you're going to click apply, okay, and then you're going to click OK. All right, now if I don't touch the mouse, if I let this computer remain inactive for 1 minute 6 seconds, you're going to see the screensaver come alive. Whether I shift the window from this screen back to the original screen, or I let it remain on this current screen, either way, you're going to see your screensaver come alive. Now, so that you can continue and I can explain a few more things as well for the screensaver, allow me to just close this window, and then we're gonna let the computer remain idle on this desktop. Then you're going to see whether the screensaver will come alive. So I'm not going to touch the mouse, but I'm gonna be explaining a number of things as we wait. And so I don't want you to switch off this I don't want to switch off. I want you to be listening because I'm going to explain a number of things. So let's wait. As we wait, I want to explain something here. See, a computer has what you call storage locations. Remember, how do you define a computer? The different definitions, of course, but the one that's most common or more exhaustive, you define a computer as an electronic device that works under installed program, and it can accept data, process data, store data, and output that data in output information. Notice, by the way, our screensaver here it is. It's now running because the computer has been hid off for 1 minute. That is how you activate it. So let me finish up my definition of a computer. Basically say that a computer is an electronic device that works under installed programs, and it's able to accept data, store data, and process data, and output information. The key thing I want you to remember here is a computer can store data. And by the way, what's data? Data are all facts about a person, event, or a place. And data doesn't really make sense. Think about when you went to register for your ID. What happened? They asked you for your name, where you come from, your date of birth. So what you were giving them, that was data. After you gave them data, they were facts about you. So after you gave them data, what they did is they organized that data and produced an ID. An ID gives full information about you. So the ID is information. But how do you get information? You've got to have to get data first, process those data, reorganize them, and then produce information. So you give a computer data, it can store that data, it can process that data, and output information. But the keyword here is storing. So a computer is basically a storage device, and I'm gonna be pointing out a few things with regards to storage.